Hey guys, what's up? It's Dani, Max, and Keely Lou.
And you're listening to the Coming Out Happy podcast.
This is where we talk about our experiences being LGBTQ, how we're helping the community, and where we are today.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Coming Out Happy podcast. We're so glad that you're here. The last 2 weeks, we've had guests every single week. But now we're back. It's just Dani and I. We've been super busy because we're moving. We're moving not too far away, but we've just been packing everything up. I honestly didn't realize how much shit we had until I saw the boxes. Like, I thought I literally told the movers, I was like, 3 or 4 boxes, and then
She didn't expect it to be over like 20 boxes that we have,
We can't see out our front door right now, if that tells you anything. I just didn't realize how much stuff we actually brought into this apartment. It's kind of sentimental, though, because we're moving. We're moving out of our first apartment that we ever lived in. I was going to say,
this is our first apartment that you and I have lived in together for over a year and a half. You moved in slightly after I even moved here in general, so it's definitely been a really nice place to live for this long, but we're so excited to be moving forward and moving into a bigger space.
I'm so excited just to have space to not work in the living room. I feel like ever since we left our jobs and we're in the house all day, it's so important to have more space because we sit on each other's laps basically and work. No, I'm just kidding. We don't. But it's just so nice, and I'm really excited to have a place to go rather than. Why are you falling asleep on the job here?
I was closing my eyes. I was a little sleepy.
It's okay. You've had a slow day. This morning, Dani, she was in bed a little bit longer than I was.
I wasn't feeling too well.
I know. I had to get up, so I got up. I went and did my workout, and then she was like, I need some Advil, and I was like, okay, I'll get you Advil, and I got her coffee, and I think it helped you feel better today.
Thank you. Best girlfriend ever.
Aw. And then you went to the post office. We've been busy, but we're back, and we wanted to talk about, coming out. I know that National Coming Out Day is coming up. I know we were just talking about this. It's really exciting because I always remember seeing it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for that to be me one day, to come out. I saw these posts, and I was like, that's so cool.
You were following people who were posting about that before you were out? Wow.
I was looking up the hashtag, I think. I don't think I was actually, because, I don't know. I think I was worried. I don't know if I talked about this before, but I was worried that my family would see me following people that had a rainbow in their bio. Yeah. So I was really careful about who I followed on Instagram and publicly what people could see.
Wow.
But I did see it, and I remember it being super exciting. But when I came out, it was Pride Month. So I was excited to come. Remember?
What? Oh, you're saying, got it. Yeah. It was, you came out in March.
Well, I came out. Okay, so.
So what are you talking about?
Here's the thing is that I came out publicly, much later on than I came out, to my closest family and friends. I didn't come out publicly until 4 or 5 months after. But I remember being excited that I was going to come out during Pride Month. So it's the same thing. But you know what's, I actually read a different perspective. We're talking about it oh my gosh, National Coming Out Day is coming soon. And we're so excited about it that we have this day where people can come out. But then I was just thinking about it, and I was also reading something that was it's kind of a negative thing.
Why do you say that?
Because if you think about it, National Coming Out Day, it shouldn't even have to be that way, but it is. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, Coming Out Day to me, it was probably something to look forward to before I came out. I think it gives a lot of people hope, and I think it also gives the people who are already out the voice to stand up for the people who aren't out yet, who can't be out. So I think it's a really, really special day. But of course, we're just why does it have to be a day in general? But you know what? We're always working towards making this world a better place and making everything just a more accepting. Especially in our community and stuff like that.
No, totally. Yeah, I completely agree. It is really interesting that we have, that day in Pride Month, and I'm so thankful that we do, but it's crazy to think about that we appreciate it so much, and to other people, it's like, why did they have that day? It's just, we're proud of who we are. But I think one thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately is that there really is no right time or right way to come out. Mm-hmm. There really isn't. And I say that because so many people in our community our private community, the Coming Out Happy one, have recently come out, whether they're 47, they're 20, they're 30, they are just coming out, and they're so happy that they made that decision. And that just goes to say that it doesn't matter when you come out. It's so important that you are coming out, because you're choosing what you want.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it happen over and over again as people do enter into the community. I mean, they're feeling more comfortable in themselves, which, leads them to expressing who they are to the world. I mean, there are a lot of people in our community who are still married and who are figuring themselves out along the way. And while it's, a crazy process, they have all of us to, get the support from. So, we have people with kids. We have people who have been married before. We have people who are still in marriages. There's no age to figuring out who you are. But I think the coolest thing is just watching people at all ages learn to love what makes them uniquely them, and learning how to, more often than not, just embrace their LGBTQ plus identity. That's what we're trying to do in general, So we just put out a post of one of our members, Brandi, who, like you said, came out at 47 years old and told this amazing story that's on our website, just about how she struggled for so long, and she's been in secret relationships like most of us have, but eventually she learned from being a part of the community through just whatever it was that led her to us at the moment, that it's okay to be her. It's more than okay. And I think she's doing an amazing job. I'm so proud of her.
Oh my gosh, me too. Just reading her story, brought tears to my eyes, and thinking about how far she's come, whether that was years and years ago where she was hiding in a relationship, to just like pushing it down and not being her, to now saying this is the most liberated she's ever felt. And that's so beautiful. That's so amazing to see her growing in such a beautiful way. And I can't wait to see what comes next, because this was just so recent. Yeah. And we get to, watch her go through every step. So it just doesn't matter what age you come out. It's a matter of that you're doing it.
That
and
you're just happy. You. And yeah. And I feel like the whole reason why we're doing what we do is to give people hope that it doesn't matter what age somebody is. What matters is that they're staying true to themselves. We're going to say it over and over again throughout every single thing that we do, but we believe that people deserve to be happy. And one of the ways that they do that is by living their authentic self in all ways. And, usually when you're not embracing that part of you, it's a little bit harder to be authentic in the rest of your life. I feel like this is a huge piece of somebody, and when they're hiding it, it's a little bit harder to really truly embrace the rest of you.
Yeah, but I feel like what we do that's so special within Coming Out Happy is really give people the tools, because you and I both know, Dani, that fear is one of the biggest things that holds us back from anything, right? Why would someone wait until they were, 40 or 50 years old to come out? Because maybe they were afraid of losing family. Maybe they were afraid of losing friends. Maybe they felt like people would think they lied. Yeah. There's a lot of different reasons, but it all relates back to the same thing, which is fear. And what we do in Coming Out Happy is we give you the resources and the tools to know that you may fear those things, but say you're thinking that you're going to lose your friends or your family, but you're going to gain that within Coming Out Happy. You're going to gain more. There's more on the other side. There's more to come. There's great things, and that's so exciting to know that if you get past that fear and you start living for you, there's new opportunities, there's new doors that open that you never thought would have been there.
Yeah, I don't think it even matters like where you're currently at. I feel like it obviously changes, if you have to come out to your kids, or if you have to come out, let's just say, to a husband or somebody in your past. It's all difficult to try to navigate. But what we're here to do within this community is to try to bring everybody together so that they know that they're not alone. Keely and I can't teach how to come out to your kid. That's something we may not be able. Max just knocked over a bunch of water bottles. Keely and I may not be able to teach exactly about how to come out to your kid or how to tell, a spouse that this is who you are, but something that we know how to do is to make people proud of their identity. And that's what we will always be here to do. And we're here to show everybody that they're valid regardless of their past relationships, regardless of if they have kids or if they don't or anything like that. We want people to know that they just deserve to be happy one way or another.
When you start choosing that, though, it's so beautiful. Like, what's one of the first things you noticed when you started choosing something for you?
Are you saying when I came out, or you're saying
anything? I think it starts with something small, and it's kind of trails because you identify that when you start choosing something for yourself, whether that's big or small, big thing maybe coming out, right? You start choosing that, and what's that like upward spiral that you feel that you keep wanting more of, and you keep choosing more things for yourself?
Yeah.
What was that for you?
I think one of the things actually that just clicked in my head was when I started to feel better about myself, when I started to accept myself and learn how to love all of the pieces that make me who I am, something I actually started to do was I was on my phone less. I really didn't need to distract myself through Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. Like, I literally took all the time in the world to take so many drives in my car, just listening to music. And that was just the fun that I was having. I didn't feel like I had to go on and compare myself to anybody else. I literally loved the life that I was living. Even if it was small, even if I hadn't accomplished anything yet, I literally was just so happy that I got to be me. That was it. And it took small steps of getting off my phone. And then maybe the next thing was starting to do more things that I was passionate about. It leads to so many different things when you learn how to love yourself.
Yeah, no, totally. And you start realizing, you're like, oh my gosh, this makes me feel so good. I want to keep doing this. I remember I deleted all of my social media. That was like the first, I was so clouded in my head that I couldn't even think straight. That was one of the first things I did for myself was I deleted it, and I needed to at that time in my life. I deleted it for like 4 or 5 months, and I noticed the biggest change in myself because I started being with myself in silence when everyone else was on their phones. I just was left with my own thoughts, and that was rare for me. That was weird, but I loved how it felt, and I kept wanting more, and now I feel like I block out time to be on my phone because there's other things that make me feel really good, and I figured those things out. It does feel really, really good to start living for you, though, whether that's coming out or choosing little things. But I guess we got a little sidetracked into like self-love.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, where do we go with that? How'd that happen?
But it all is so correlated, you see. And, I'm sure Brandi now coming out, she's going to start like this new journey of self-love, right? This is a whole nother level. Maybe she was doing it before, but now that she's like liberated herself from this is her next thing that she's going to go through. And it's so amazing and like such a beautiful journey. This life that we go through is like full of surprises and so many things, but it's all how you look at it, right? It's all how you look at it and everything that you do. You could look at life as, oh my God, this life is a battle and it's hard, or you could look at it as life's a box of chocolates, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Life is, it really is what you make of it. It really is your perspective. That's how it changes. I mean, me and you have also been through our own different phases in our lives where our perspectives were completely different. The people that we are right now are not the people that we used to be.
And that's the thing. People look at where people are now, and right now it seems like everything's great. How did they get there? Were they born that way? Right? Were they born with confidence? Were they born with the ability to do that? I'll tell you right now, if you would have looked at me maybe 5 years ago, you've been like, who is that person? Like, there's a lot of things that aren't shared, right? Hope to share them because I think they're great lessons in the future, but there's a lot of things that no one saw. There's a lot of struggles within coming out happy that no one saw. A lot of people just saw the end result, right? And we're doing well, and there's a lot of people, and thousands of people have been reached, but no one saw what Dani and I went through behind the scenes, right? Everyone gets to see the reward of everything that we've done.
Yeah, and if you've read a little bit of the book Coming Out Happy, which is what this whole membership is really based on, I think you'll be able to understand a little bit more about my story. But it's so crazy how people only look at the end and think that that's just how people were made, instead of being like, you know what, they probably worked really, really hard and went through a lot of really hard stuff. but taking a look at even you were a year ago, you've changed so much.
Yeah.
Diving more into personal development and learning how to overcome your own battles just as much as I have in the last year. I mean, running a company is not easy. It's not easy stuff, but we're always working on ourselves. And something that you were saying today was that we're just staying dedicated to ourselves, to bettering ourselves in every way, and the rest will flourish. But something that has always stayed true in my head was knowing that I deserved so much love from myself. Ever since I made that decision, I don't think it's ever changed.
Yeah. Well, and you've taught me so much, and don't want you to forget that.
Thank you.
You've taught me so much that I was always a dreamer. I always wanted these things, but was I going to get them? No. Why? Because I thought in my head, oh my gosh, this is going to be hard. All these things, like I started to doubt myself. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I can't talk to people about my story. I don't even know myself. There were so many things that went through my head that made me think I wasn't good enough for this. But what I saw in Dani that I just wanted to model and I admire so much. And I'm so I'm so lucky to have her as seriously like my partner in life and everything that she is. I model though that she is a big action taker. She really is. She will go after anything she wants. I mean, I met her when she had already wrote 2 books. She had songs. She had multiple albums on iTunes and Spotify and just created something. She tried multiple things and she was willing. And that's why I believe this is working and I believe that we're doing this together is because she tried every angle. She never gave up. Even if she took breaks and she went back to the corporate world or whatever she did, and this isn't just only in business, but in who she is as a person. She's really, really become this amazing person because she's never given up and she's anything she wants, she'll do. She wants to make bracelets, she's going to go buy everything at Michael's. I'm serious. Like, being her girlfriend has been one of the most amazing things to watch her as well because I get to see that too. And something that I never did was take action. I never tried anything because I was afraid to fail.
Yeah, it definitely prevents us from doing absolutely everything. I think the number one thing that I do is take action on anything. I do not wait for something. And I'm not going out and getting crazy things, but if I see it's going to benefit the people around me or if it's going to help me grow in some way, I'm just like, why wait? What are all the excuses going to do for myself? It's just going to hold me back and there's no reason to keep listening to it.
You're wasting time.
Yeah, you're wasting time. You're wasting your energy. If you see something that you want, regardless of it being coming out or dating somebody that you want or going and getting a job that you want, like, it comes from how you feel about yourself and if you deserve it, if you believe that you deserve it or not. And I think the only difference between me and you at that moment was that I told myself that I believed in myself.
Yep.
Regardless of what it was, I've tried to do stuff like coming out happy a million times. But the whole thing was that I wanted to see because I believed in my story. I believed in the world, and I always will. There's nothing better than just being true to myself and speaking it. Mm-hmm. So bringing it back to this whole podcast.
No, I just want them to think for a minute. Whoever's listening to this, just take a minute to think about something that you saw or you really liked and you started thinking about it. Say you wanted something. I don't know if it was a car. Maybe it was something tangible. Maybe it was a partner, whatever it was. Maybe it was a new favorite color you liked. It could be as simple as that. And then guess what? You started seeing that everywhere. You started visualizing it once and you saw it in multiple places.
Ooh.
I love that because I wanted a Jeep so bad. That was like my thing. I wanted a Jeep for a very, very long time. And I saw them everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a Jeep there. There's a Jeep there.
You manifested into your life and all of a sudden, what happened?
I had a Jeep, but it got stolen. That's the truth. That's the truth. I wasn't meant to have that. But no, really, it's interesting because you really do see something that you want. And when you start to visualize it and you have it in your mind, you'll get it. I want it to come out so badly. I want it to be me. And guess what? The only reason I came out, not the only reason, okay, that's a big statement, Keely. One of the biggest reasons I came out is because I saw one of my friends post something about her eating disorder. And I saw that she put herself out there and I saw she opened up and I saw the responses that she got and I saw something that I wanted. I saw something that I wanted to do the same thing, and I wanted to be open about who I was because I had lied and I wasn't true to myself for so many years. And that pushed me to take the action to come out, because if I didn't see that, I wouldn't have came out. I remember seeing that post that day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I even messaged her. I wish I could still find the messages. Maybe I can. And I was like, your post inspired me so much. You never know who you're influencing as well. Maybe us having this conversation about taking action, maybe you're going to start thinking about some things you want to take action on, right?
Yeah, regardless of what it is. I mean, Keely and I usually start these topics out talking about coming out, and it leads to so much more.
I know. It's so, I honestly, Dani and I have the best conversations. Like, it wasn't always like this, though. I was very surface level at the
We'll get
beginning.
into that in our relationship podcast that we'll be coming out with.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
we have
soon.
So many things coming. You know, whoever's listening right now, whether you're part of the coming out membership or you maybe know nothing about it and you just found this podcast randomly, it's a place where we talk about these kinds of things, because we believe that in every aspect of your life, there's multiple things that all go together. There's so many things that intertwine, and just different things that you can take throughout the rest of your life, no matter what kind of situation arises. But we always talk about them, and I think you just said it. We talk about all of these things, and it leads to other things, because it really does go into every other area of your life.
It's important just to know that Keely and I don't just focus on coming out as the whole message that we're trying to share. We try to take people into knowing that they deserve to live a life well lived, regardless of what that means. You know, I think just living your truth in whatever way that is what we strive to help people with.
Yeah.
So whether it's, like we said, it's coming out, or, you know, being with somebody that you want, or not being with somebody that you don't want, or, you know, moving across the country, whatever it is that you want, we're here to help you do that.
And
That's
I think,
it.
you know, everyone has a different expectation of what they want their life to be, but you might be listening to this and you're not even sure what you want in your life. You're not sure if you know that you can make an impact. You don't know that yet. And maybe you need to hear that you can, and you will make an impact. And I think it's just showing people that they can do more than maybe what they're doing now, that because they don't believe in themselves. And when you believe in yourself, you can do anything you want.
I mean, that was the whole point of this podcast, right? I mean, it was to showcase what an amazing thing Brandi did for herself. And it doesn't mean any age is, you know, not welcome to do whatever it is that they want, because every person deserves to be happy. Doesn't matter how old or how young they are. Living your truth is needed.
Yeah. And I think, too, you know, going back to Brandi's story, just like there's no right time. We base our life so much off of, oh my gosh, all my friends are getting married. They're doing this. They just got this promotion, whatever it is, whatever you're basing it off of. But that's what you put your expectation in your head on. That's not actually what it is.
It's never too late to do whatever it is that you want.
No.
My mom actually just got her PhD. She's in her 50s, and she's crushing it. She just published her, 5th book because of it. But she was probably saying in her head at one point, 50-year-olds may not be able to go and get their PhD. What do I have to do that for? But there was something that was different inside of her. She knew. The same thing like we know. The whole secret is just knowing that age is nothing. Age means nothing. You deserve to live a happy life and do what you want, whatever it is.
Yeah. No, oh my gosh. I love what this conversation has turned into. It's amazing. It's just so true. I mean, you look at people based off what they've accomplished or their age or where they should be, and everyone's journey is exactly how it's supposed to be. Brandi was meant to come out at 47. Mm-hmm. We were meant to come out the age we came out. Whatever happened for that specific reason. And it's such a beautiful thing to know that your journey is so unique to you and it's no one else's. No one ever has lived your life. Your life is so different from everyone else. And when you learn how amazing you are and you start to practice that and you start to be the best you that you can be, the most authentic you, and by that I mean being true to what you want. When I say authentic, I feel like it can be skewed for something else. Like people may think, of an authentic person, but really it just goes back to who you are to the core. Mm-hmm. Being you and choosing what you want. And when you choose that and you start to live that life for you, it's incredible what comes out of it.
Yeah, and I think just one of the last things I kind of wanted to touch on was just to, like you kind of said, to stop comparing yourself to anybody else's journey. You know, Keely and I aren't living conventional lives, so regardless, the life wouldn't be matched up to somebody who could also be around our age. There's no how it should be. It's how you want your life to be.
I like that. We're going to put that in a quote. There's no how it should be. It's how you want your life to be.
I think that's what I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I want you to spend less time comparing yourself to what you should be doing at whatever age you're at, and just think about the real question of what do I want? How do I go get it? And then just do it.
If there's anything stopping you, if there's anything that's giving you doubt or making you think that you can't
come back to us.
Come back, because promise you, every single time you'll get the real us. You'll get the real energy of what we're really feeling. And our mission is to help LGBTQ plus people live their most authentic life. That's truly what it is. That's what drives us. And I'm sure, even from listening through a microphone, maybe you're in your car, maybe you're walking, maybe you're sitting in your house, wherever you are, you can feel how passionate we are about helping people, helping you, and making sure that you know that you're worth it and you're valid and you are so powerful, and you just have to believe that. But we're always here, and there's so many resources on our website and on our Instagram at Coming Out Happy, where you can find the support that you need to become that person.
Yeah, and definitely get on the wait list. That's something that we're getting ready to launch. We're super, super excited for the next launch of the Coming Out Happy membership, where we're going to be diving deep into so many of these topics to help LGBTQ plus people get through regular life struggles that we have to go through. I mean, there's so many unanswered questions, and we're here for you. That's what the membership is for now. Courses and community. That's the perfect combo if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, and if you get on the wait list, you'll get access to a lot of the exclusive content that we send over before the launch, this will be released before the launch. The launch is coming on October 19th. So make sure you get on that list. All you have to do is go to DannyMaxCoaching.com. It'll be right there on the homepage, or you can go to DannyMaxCoaching.com/membership. You can also get on the wait list there. You'll get all the details. You'll be the first to know when it does open, and we're so excited about this next launch. CUH 2.0.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be one for the books.
For sure.
Well, thank you all for listening. It was super fun talking with you, Keely. Thank you for having me on this podcast.
Of course,
I appreciate
Danny,
it.
You're so welcome. Well, we'll catch you all next time. We have some great topics coming up, so stay tuned. If you can, leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star if you liked it. If you didn't like it, let us know what you didn't like, or throw in some things that you want to hear. We love getting messages. We love responding back to you all. So make sure you shoot us a message on @ComingOutHappy Instagram. We can't wait to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.